okay? I just got back from a community board meeting, so ask me anything.
I mean, listen, the comments that were made were simply and are simply incompatible with holding elected office. It violates the public trust, just point blank, period. That's the beginning of it, that's the end of it. But I do want to dig a little bit deeper into the psychology of that, because it's also just as bad, if not worse. In corrupt, racist, classist environments, systems, political situations, people in power rely on pitting communities against each other, whether it's racially, geographically, whatever. They rely on pitting, trying to get Black communities and Latino communities and Asian communities and Native communities seen as each other's enemies, white communities, rural, urban, all of it. And leaders who fall for that are not equipped to lead. And frankly, this scarcity mentality that we need to pit or be suspicious of other ethnic groups or of other types of interest groups, geography, this, that, and the other, comes from the top. It comes from a vested classist interest, racist interest, etc. Because the more you can stoke like just whatever fighting amongst ourselves is less time that we're building solidarity with one another. And we need to be able to trust each other. And if we don't have that trust, we're not going to be able to build together. That's really so much at the core of what this is about. But we've seen what the outcome of those things are. Old school political machines like from the 90s and plenty of other decades. And you know what it also yields? A lot of corruption. Because when all you care about any other decision on such a superficial zero-sum mentality, that is dangerous. And that is what people in power rely on in order to make sure that nothing changes, pretty much. And, you know, this isn't about just like talking about LA. We experienced this in New York, you know, especially when you look at New York political machines in the 90s and even in the early 2000s. I grew up. One of the reasons I didn't even think, one of the reasons I hated electoral politics was because I got sick of seeing people claiming that they represented me or from where I was from, but getting popped on completely betraying our community because they had a different set of values. And we need to stick together. We need to be able to trust each other.